Pretty packages, they are the first impression we make when giving a gift, and they have the power to immediately make the recipient feel special. And my first guest says it's easy to add on darling little details with things you likely already have on hand, so that your loved one feels extra thought of. Jodi Sanford is here with ideas for adorning your gifts. Welcome back.
Thank you.
We're in the Christmas mood, right?
Yes, very much so.
I'm a big believer that the little details matter, even when it comes to wrapping.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. I think it gives a little bit of a personal touch. I especially think that when you're talking about, nowadays a lot of kids are like gift cards, cash.
Yeah.
Some of the things that are maybe feel a little bit less impersonal, they really love them, but yet you can still add that personal touch to it just by how you're giving them the gift.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I love this idea that you have. I do this, but I didn't have an official word for it. You keep, what do you call this?
I just call it like a junk jar, or maybe it's a junk basket, kind of like your junk drawer in your house.
But this is not junk. Let's talk about what you're keeping in this jar.
So I'll open this up for you, and we'll just show a few of the things. What I like to do is I will keep scraps of ribbon. And you know what? Sometimes you get gifts, and you love the ribbon. You're like, oh, I don't want to just throw it away, but what do I do with it? So I will often throw it back into the jar so that I can reuse it, repurpose it later, whether it's for a craft or for gift wrapping. I threw a bunch of little bobbles in here, but there's lots of little things that I'll collect.
Looks like you have fabric scraps or
there's little pins in here. We've got the bottle brush trees. You know those cute little ornaments? You can buy them I don't know, by the dozen. They're so cute, but they make the perfect little bobbles to add to your gifts, especially around Christmas time. But even the colored ones, it doesn't have to only be Christmas. So I just collect ribbons. I mentioned this to Jill, the producer, and I said, you know what I also throw in there is, you get the buttons with your clothing. Yeah, the extra buttons, and you just kind of toss them aside I don't know. I'm not very good at replacing those buttons if they fall out. So I'm like, I'll just throw them in there. Yeah. So then I know they're there if I really needed it, but I can also repurpose them for something like this.
The gift wrap junk jar, great idea. Let's talk about some of the things you are making with it. And one of them is little cute tags.
Yes.
I love a cute tag. And you're going to kind of show us how you're making some of these cute tags.
Well, actually, I'll leave that open.
Okay,
we might pull some of that stuff. Yes. Okay, so I wanted to show you, I'm going to just add a tag to this. So this is a really super simple little, I can tilt it up a little bit for you. This is just
almost like a garland,
plain,
right?
Yeah.
Paper garland.
So plain box. And so you can decorate a plain box without having to do all the wrapping. And I just took a bunch of scrapbook paper and I punched it out. And then I just ran it through my sewing machine. And it looks fine like this, but I think it's so much cuter if you add a cute little
calls for a cute tag.
So we're just going to build ourselves a little tag. And we're kind of tight on space here.
Talk about
so I'll just show you.
Supplies we need here.
Yes. Okay. So that was one of the things that we talked about is when you go, I know there's not a lot of scrapbook stores left, but scrapbooking paper is seriously the best when it comes to this stuff because you can buy these little packets. This is from Simple Stories, if you want to use exactly what I'm using on here. And they are filled with so many pieces in there that have all these cute little details in them. And all you have to do is pull them out of the package and you can start using them.
You bought the base of the big tag.
Yep. So have you seen... Everyone's seen these.
Yes.
Okay, you can buy these.
Where do you source this?
I just get these at Staples or whatever, the office store. And you can buy this huge bag of them, and I use them a lot. I actually ended up spraying mine with a dye or an ink on them.
Just to make it
a little more vintagey or something different, but I will also decorate them plain. This one, I just traced it onto white paper. So you can use that as a template. And then you can just trace it onto any paper color that you like.
And are you just gluing these on however you want?
I'll show you. Okay. I'm just going to do we'll do a super quick demo with it. I pre-cut the paper just so obviously we can make it a little bit quicker. Just going to add some adhesive there. And we're just going to stick that on there.
And as you put all these together, you're going to come out with something darling like this.
Yes, you're going to want to add layers. So lots of fun there. But let me just show you my little trick. We're going to use you're going to want to use some dimensional adhesives. So that gives that layered feel too. So even if you don't have necessarily 5 layers, it's going to look like it's layered because you're adding.
And a 3D concept.
You're going to get that dimension on there. So we're just going to add a few of those and we don't have to build the whole entire thing, but I'll toss
But
the
I know
garbage
people are
off.
going to ask about these tassels because these are
Yes.
also made out of paper.
Yep, we just made them out of paper. And so the fun thing about this is they're from the same paper that this is, so they're gonna coordinate perfectly with what you're decorating. So to make these, you're actually just gonna, I'm gonna try, and we didn't bring a sample, like an unfinished sample, but you're just gonna lay out a strip of paper, say that's about 3 inches tall, and you're just gonna cut out a long strip, and then you're just gonna
Fringe it.
yep. And then, so make sure you don't cut all the way through, obviously. You're gonna wanna leave that top row solid, and then you're just gonna roll it up, and then you can wrap it with a coordinating
bind the
paper over
top.
the top.
Those are darling.
Isn't that fun? So
the last
simple.
thing I want to make sure we get to are these photo tags. Sometimes you
Yes.
say a photo as a tag is the best way to go.
Yeah, it's so simple. So my kids are all a little bit older now, and so I love to go back and look at pictures that we took when they were little. And I actually added, so you can decorate, I just printed off photos of my kids when they were little, and then you know exactly who the gift's for because it's already labeled with their image on it, and you can add little bobbles and more of those details that you've found in your jar to the actual gift.
Yeah, because you're doing that on the side of all these bags, all these cute things that you see hanging, just ribbons and galore. Talk to us about where to get more ideas from you.
So I am on makeaprettylife.com or Make a Pretty Life on Instagram, Facebook.
Make a Pretty Life, that's
Yes.
you. Okay,
Yep.
thanks for showing us this. I'm excited to get wrapping. I
Thank
got to
you.
get on it though because I haven't even
Yeah,
started.
you don't have much time left.
Thanks, Jodi.